If you're a real estate agent who closes deals but somehow stays at the same income year after year, this video is for you. I've watched agents close one deal, then another, and still feel like they're running in the same place every year. Over nearly 3 decades in real estate as an agent, as a coach, I've seen this happen to good agents everywhere. Some agents keep pushing harder and stay right where they are. Others make a small shift and their income keeps moving even when their effort stays the same. That difference shows up right after a closing. Most agents miss it. The ones who don't are the ones who keep getting repeat clients, referrals, and future deals without starting over every month. In this video, I'm going to walk you through that shift. Once you see it, you'll understand why so many closings lead nowhere and how top producers turn one closing into several future transactions without being pushy or salesy. If your income hasn't changed in a while, stay with me. This will connect the dots. For most agents, a closing feels like a finish line. There's relief. Bills get paid. You finally exhale. For a few days, maybe even a couple of weeks, the pressure lifts, and that makes sense. A closing solves real problems in real life. But then something subtle happens. The conversations slow down. The calendar opens back up, and without realizing it, you're back in search mode again. Most agents accept this as normal. They assume this quiet stretch is just part of the business. You close a deal, then you go find the next one. That's how it works. But the real issue isn't the closing. It's what happens in between. After a closing, many agents don't stay connected in any meaningful way. There's no clear next step for the relationship, no simple plan for how that client stays part of the business going forward. So time passes. Life moves on for the client. New priorities show up. Other things fill their world. And slowly, without any bad experience, without any hard feelings, you fade into the background. That silence feels harmless at first, but over time, it does something dangerous. It disconnects one deal from the next. Each closing becomes a one-time event instead of part of a longer story. Every new month depends on fresh effort and new chasing, because the business keeps resetting itself. When closings don't lead anywhere, the only way forward is to constantly hunt for new clients. And no matter how good you are, that gets exhausting. This is the hidden reason so many agents feel like they're always starting over, even after doing everything right. Now here's where the shift happens. What turns one closing into future business isn't something big or flashy. It's a few small moves done at the right moments. And most agents miss these moments because they think the job is over once the deal closes. Top producers see it differently. Right after a closing, most agents disappear. Top producers slow this momentum down. They understand this is when trust is highest. The clients just made a major decision. They feel relief. They feel grateful. They feel connected. So top producers stay present right after the closing. Not with a pitch, not with pressure, but by staying human. A short check-in, a message a few days later, a simple, how's everything settling in? Nothing fancy, just enough to say, I didn't disappear. Then they do something else most agents overlook. They mark the moment. Top producers treat a closing like a milestone, not an ending. They remember dates. They remember the story. They remember what matters to that client. So when the anniversary of the move comes around, it doesn't feel random when they reach out. It feels thoughtful. When the market changes, they don't blast everyone. They think, who would this matter to? That's the difference. They don't talk to everyone the same way. They talk to people like people. Now, this next part scares a lot of agents. They worry about being annoying. They worry about bothering people. Top producers don't try to stay loud. They try to stay familiar. Familiar feels safe. Familiar feels normal. That can be a quick message, a note when something reminds them of the client, a short update that actually matters to that person. Most of the time, it's small enough that it barely feels like business. That's why it works. And over time, they stay useful. They don't try to impress people years later. They answer questions when they come up. They share things that could help. They check in when life changes. So when someone says, "Do you know an agent?" their name comes up easily because it feels obvious. That's how future business gets created. And when these small moves stack, one closing stops being a single event. It becomes the start of a long chain of conversations you don't have to chase. Now, everything we've talked about sounds simple, and it is. The reason most agents still don't do it is because they're trying to hold all of it in their head. Remembering who to check in with, remembering when someone moved, remembering who referred whom, remembering who hasn't heard from them in a while. That's exhausting. Top producers don't rely on memory for this. They rely on a system, not a complicated one, not a tech-heavy one, just something that keeps the business from slipping backward. A good system has only a few jobs. First, it keeps people visible. Past clients don't disappear after the closing. Conversations don't fade into old text threads. Names stay in front of you so they don't get lost. Second, it keeps contact natural. The system isn't there to blast messages. It's there to remind you to stay present. A quick check-in, a simple note, a reason to reach out that feels normal. That's it. Third, it lets past work support future months. When a deal closes, the relationship doesn't reset, it carries forward. That way, next month isn't built from scratch. It's supported by what already exists. And when this kind of system is in place, something shifts internally. The pressure drops. You're no longer wondering who you forgot. You're no longer hoping people remember you. You're no longer restarting your business every few weeks. The business feels steadier. This is why top producers often seem calm. They're not guessing where the next deal might come from. They know relationships are quietly working in the background. In real life, this looks simple. It looks like recognizing a name and remembering the story behind it. It looks like reaching out without feeling awkward. It looks like referrals show up months later and thinking, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." The system doesn't replace relationships, it protects them. And when relationships are protected, income stops feeling fragile. When closings start leading to future work, something bigger happens over time. You begin to feel safe in your business. You're still working, you're still showing up, but the weight is lighter because the business isn't starting from zero each month. Income begins to smooth out gradually. Referrals feel normal. Repeat clients feel expected. Quiet weeks don't cause panic because there's history behind you. That emotional shift matters more than most agents realize. That's the difference between surviving and growing. If you want a clear system, coaching, and accountability to build predictable closings that lead to future business, check the first link in the description. It's a 6-week execution program called the Production Program. And if this video helped you connect the dots, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video.